tuning the Fujinons in preparation for this day's project. My Fujinons are parfocal, but with time and use, the parfocal can get a little off. So I have to go back in and manually refine them. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. My last video, I asked for feedback on my shoulder rig because I was experiencing a good amount of shoulder and lower back pain from carrying it all day. And boy, did I get feedback. B-Boy said he just deals with the pain and there's no way to fix it. Matix says he always keeps a bottle of Motrin on set and hits the spa when he can. Corey said he's been reality cam opping for the last 13 years, been doing lots of shoulder work, and after about 7 years in, he started to feel slight back pain in his shoulder, and so he eventually went ahead and got an ergo rig combined with a hip shot combo, and that really made a difference for him, and it sounds like he's not having back pain anymore. He said the older guys kind of tell you to suck it up, but they're also the ones that usually deal with back pain later in life. He said for my rig, he actually recommends a Lettuce 35 MCS. Just Velcro it to the bottom of the camera, and when I want to use my tripod, just rip it off, pop it on the tripod. And he said it's leather and nice. So that's kind of an interesting solution. Eddie Woods says that weight training has been a game changer for him. Pat Dents also really recommended working out. It says working the lower back has helped him a lot. Nord Films also said same thing, that he's found that working out has helped him too. Evan the cameraman, along with a lot of other people, actually highly recommended the Easy Rig. He says on long shoot days he feels great by the end of it. Don't kill your body, Tommy. And let me emphasize again, a lot of people recommended the Easy Rig. Steve also recommended weight training and says it's made a big difference on his life. He also recommended using a monopod. He said his local BBC newsman uses it all the time. Sam Higgins recommends strength and conditioning, more specifically, work on your back, shoulders, and knees. Get them stronger than they need to be to carry your camera all day. Dan Abel also recommended the Ergo rig if I'm a shoulder guy. He likes to use the Easy Rig, and he said, Cine saddle, even if it's a smaller setup. Personally, I am thinking the Ergo rig is a pretty cool setup. I don't know if I would go for one right now, but it does seem very cool. I really appreciate all the feedback from you guys, and there were a lot of comments that I didn't even mention in this video that I really appreciated. But I take your feedback seriously, and today I visited 3 gyms and joined one of them. And I'm planning to spend 2 to 3 days a week in there just building muscle. I regularly have been working out. I usually do Pilates and jogging through the week, but I haven't been building muscle. And my takeaway from you guys is that's something that will probably make the biggest difference. Anyways, let's get back to the shoot today. We're keeping the FX9 pretty stripped down. We're going to have the built-in rubber pad on our shoulder. We're going to run it for the whole day. This is pretty much as light as possible as I can make it. Let's see how it goes. We're working with Barry Bierman today. He brought us in really cool DP. Excited to be working with him. Look at that stand. That custom made. You liking this thing?
Dude, I love it. It's the only problem with the cart, like with the shelves that they make or the ones that you can buy, is that it doesn't have lip on it, and it's like fucking flimsy. And so now it's like totally nice. I made it so it perfectly fits all the aperture lights on the bottom.
Oh,
so
sweet.
They sit in between here, and then I don't even bolt down the bottom. I just put weight on it. And it's just
That's awesome.
I'll show you how it rolls.
Nice. Pretty excited to push this current setup on a long shoot day. See how that goes, how I like it. We've got walkie-talkies on us, wired into our ears, which is really helping with communication. Starting off by grabbing some exterior shots of where the guys are and the girls are, so we can start building our story. 24 to 105.
Wham. Awesome.
It's a cheap lens.
It's pretty sick. It's 2.8 too, so it's the ultimate wedding day lens. You can't beat it. It stays on here 90% of the time, and then throw on like a 15 for like mega wide or whatever.
Love it.
Good to go.
Dude, I like how you structure your weddings. It's like we're being fast and efficient, but it doesn't feel stressful.
Totally, having a beer, waiting for the guys. Try to have fun, especially cool because we know the bridal parties are buddies of mine. So it's like, you're not really working.
When we have in between moments like this where I don't need to be filming, I'm taking the camera off my shoulder and just pressing against my chest like that, and I'm noticing that's helping a lot. It's not digging into my shoulder and my arms aren't deadlifting it. One thing we're doing is interviews of different people.
Okay.
Pretty sweet.
Right here. Okay. How you feeling?
Right now,
Yeah.
a little tense, a little hot. I've done this, twice before the last 2 years with my boys, but my daughter, it's a whole new deal.
I'm really a fan of these kind of interviews for weddings. I feel like all the guests are special people and they have interesting things to say. My camera kit is literally perfect for these kind of interviews, so I knocked out 12 of them before the wedding started. How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited.
I feel like we're getting a lot of stuff without having to stress about it because you're like, good. There's good communication. You're like, I got this. You go get that. Yeah, and we got the earpieces. So
Yeah, that helps, definitely.
So this is the full camera setup we're rocking. We've got my FX9 right here. We've got Barry's Canon R5C. He's got like a battery grip on the bottom and then a little V-mount battery on the back. And then we've got the Canon C70. Barry's really using this the most, probably because of the versatility. He can pop it on a monopod route really easy, do it handheld, and it's got stabilization. But man, I like the C70 a lot. That's a great camera. This is really challenging my belief system around brands and intercrossing brands, like shooting Canons with a Sony, because I've kind of avoided that. But then I got this text from Barry the next day saying a few days after the shoot, saying color matching is going to be very easy. And I'm like, what? And then I started taking a look at the different frames. This is FX30, FX9, C7, and Canon R5C. And I like to think I've got a pretty trained eye, but the differences are subtle. He just popped a Rec 709 look on all of these, and they're subtle. And any big difference he could easily change in color grading. So, I don't know. I'm kind of being challenged here. What do you guys think? Do you intershoot brands together much? I don't usually because like corporate interviews and stuff, but I don't know. This is kind of challenging me.
Just chill, dude.
FX30 on the groom, nice and tight. C70 on the bride, nice and tight. We've got 2 roaming cameras and then 1 in the back locked off. Because we have our critical angles covered, we're able to roam and get more tight and more interesting shots. Kind of like this. Shoulder mounting worked great. When they're coming down the aisle, I start low, like Barry recommended I do, and then when they got close, I popped it on the shoulder and got their face, which I quite liked. I had to be a little fast to pull that off, but it was smooth. And then after that was secured, I ran back over to our tight camera and zoomed in real nice and tight on the bride. And so that camera was good to go. And the cool thing with that is we're able to go back to getting more creative shots, getting people in the audience's reaction, getting people happy, and hopefully getting someone crying. We just finished the ceremony, moved all of our gear over here by this building. This is where the reception is going to be happening. And now it's time for a cocktail hour over here. I gotta say, shooting a ceremony on an FX9 shoulder rig is great, actually. Very handy for getting eye-level shots, getting people's reactions, and that's kind of what a documentary camera is all about. So, actually been pleasantly surprised. The shots looked really pretty. So, let's do this thing now.
We love you. Cheers to you. Celebrate with Casper.
Thank you for inviting us, having us as friends. It hasn't been easy, we know.
All right, we're planning out a 4-camera setup for the reception here. We're gonna have 2 cameras here, getting the couple. We're gonna have another camera here getting speeches. And we have a light over there. And then this camera will be roaming, getting people's reactions. Switching to a gimbal feels so light and easy. We had a short window of time to grab our aesthetic couple sunset shots. So Barry was on a tight 50 mil that had like a vintage artistic look to it, and then I was grabbing these wide shots that you see, And just that dynamic was really nice, not having to think about getting tight, just focus on getting wide. And I think it made the most of this short window of time we had. Whew. Taking a minute to chill, eat some food, take a breather. Before we go to the next section, it's pretty cool. The photographer told the DJ to delay so that way we could eat food, because otherwise we were not going to get to eat food. And I'm glad they did that. That's smart. So we don't get super stressed out or like starving hungry. That makes it no fun. So yeah, it's nice to have a moment to just eat, chill, and breathe for a second.
Then Megan, you have deafening, and without a doubt, nailed it!
For this section of the event, we had multiple cameras running again, which freed us up to focus on reactions. I love that Barry does that. I feel like you get so much more emotion out of a wedding. It was cool shooting these different moments shoulder mounted, because I mean I got a lot is happening at eye level. And then when the partying happened, we switched to the dual base ISO 4000. I was pretty interested to see how this would look. And this is what it looks like when you're shooting 60 FPS, a little bit dark. If you bump up the exposure though, we get a good amount more grain, but you can see better. Here's another example, someone just partying out. If we bump up the exposure again, you can see it looks a lot, you can see more. So I don't know. I think probably an FX6 or FX3 would be better in this environment, but I don't usually shoot in environments that dark. After this, we packed up our gear, transferred files, and headed out of there. Thank you, Barry, for bringing me out. That was fun. It's cool seeing someone who's really mastered craft, like shooting a wedding, and working with them on that. You really made it easy to do. This channel's all about connecting with people. I'm not switching to being a wedding videographer. This was just to try it out. Try the FX9 rig out for long amounts of time, shoulder mounted. It did really well. I feel like I'm getting better at holding in on my shoulder. My neck is a little sore, but not bad considering how long it was on my shoulder. And the angles we were able to get through shoulder rigging it is really interesting. Like, not your normal wedding film look. Like, it's just super easy to get eye level shots in on people's faces. A lot of the shots I wanted were really easy to get with the shoulder rig. So is the FX9 too much for a wedding? I don't know. I don't think so. It's pretty nice for it, actually. Anyways, not a wedding videographer. I'm a corporate DP, but this was fun. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you live in the Bay Area, you're a filmmaker near San Francisco, and you want to meet up, connect, let's do it. Add me on Instagram, send me a DM. And if you want to work with me, here's my website. Also got a link to Barry in the description. If you're in the Petaluma area, you should definitely connect with him. He's a really cool guy. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye.